Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to FPL Fast Track. My name is Jamal, and today I am going to go through GameWeek 23. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so one of the main things that I've noticed is that if we look at the past, oh dear. So one of the main things, Chelsea have an excellent upcoming fixtures. So Chelsea, I've noticed Chelsea have got very good fixtures. They are playing Crystal Palace in game week 23, West Ham 24, Wolves in game week 25, and Leeds in game week 26, and Burnley in game week 27. So they have a lot of teams who are fixture level 2 and fixture level 3. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that Crystal Palace, Chelsea are going to play Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have conceded, I think, how many goals? Crystal Palace have conceded 10 goals in the past 6 game weeks. 10 goals, yes, 10 goals in the past 3 game weeks. And they haven't really won any games at all on those game weeks. So they last played against Sunderland, they lost 2-1. They drew against Aston Villa before that. They lost against Newcastle. So they are in a dip at the moment. And that's why, considering Crystal Palace are in such a really bad form, and Chelsea have very good upcoming fixtures, it is advisable and is highly recommended to invest in Chelsea players. Now, who is the best player to pick? Let's have a look. So if we look at the Chelsea players here, we can see the top players are Enzo, based on the past 6 game weeks. Enzo has 29 points. When he plays against a team which is a fixture level 2, he gets an average of 6.8 points per match. So he is a clear favorite. However, Cole Palmer, he is the one I'm very interested in. Cole Palmer is very interesting because he is a guy who is starting to get minutes. He's getting a lot more minutes. He's played 90 minutes in the last game. He played against Brentford. He scored a goal. Even though he scored a goal, he hasn't really got any bonus points. So, but the good thing is he has been starting to get minutes. He's likely to score goals and assist as well. And considering he's got very good upcoming games, you can see that he's playing Crystal Palace next, West Ham after in game week 24, Wolves in game week 25, and Leeds in game week 26. So Chelsea have a very strong upcoming fixture. So Chelsea are a very good team to invest in. Now, although Cole Palmer is one of the top performing players for Chelsea, and I think he's going to start scoring a lot more goals, we can see that the more minutes he has, the more goals he scores. So yep. So in last game week he played 90 minutes. He scored a goal. In game week 21, he played 74 minutes. Didn't actually. He blanked actually on game week 21. So, okay, he is expected to score. But the best player I would go for from Chelsea is Chalobah. Now, I used to have Chalobah in my team for most of the season, but I got rid of him when he was in a poor form. But now, considering Chelsea have a very, very good fixtures coming up, I think Chalobah is a very, very good option. So if you don't have Chalobah, I would definitely go for Chalobah. Chalobah's record, if you look at it, he plays every single minute of every game. He has gone through a dip. Chelsea overall went through a dip from game week 17 to game week 21. But in the last game week 22, when they played against Brentford, he got 8 points, clean sheet, and 2 defensive contribution points. And considering he is playing very, very teams that are concede a lot of goals, he is likely to have a clean sheet in these upcoming games as well. Hello everyone. This is my first time going live on TikTok. Okay, let's have a look at the next fixture. Hello Alfie, how's it going, man? Have you got any questions? Do you want me to look into anything? I'm looking at GameWeek 23 and just looking for some patterns. Need to back Everton, but yeah, do you know what? Everton is they always go under the radar because you let's have a look at Everton actually. I've got my app open. I'm looking at Everton's history. Let's have a look at Everton. Okay, so Everton overall, out of all the games they played, they've won 9 games, they've lost 8 games, and they drew 5 games. They are only scoring an average of 1.1 goal per game, and they are conceding the same amount per game as well. But if we look at the home record, they have won 4, lost 4, drew 3, and away record they actually won more. So their away record is better than their home record. Next game week they are playing against Leeds. If we look at their current form, Everton have scored 4 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Leeds have scored 5. And both teams have conceded exactly the same goals, 5 goals each within the same time period. Everton have won 36% of their games at home, and Leeds have only won 9% of the games away. So that makes Everton 27% more likely to win. At the same time, Leeds have scored 1 more goal than Everton, so they are a little bit of a better, more of a threat. Now, if we look at Everton's current form, we can see they've had 3 clean sheets in the past 3 game weeks. So a clean sheet with Aston Villa, clean sheet with Nottingham Forest, and clean sheet with Burnley. And then before that's all actually away. Hold on, let me check. The away record is strong, but if we look at the home record, they haven't had a clean sheet since game week 15. So that's automatic, and they conceded a goal against Wolves, 4 goals against Brentford, and a goal against Arsenal. And Leeds, they know how to score. Leeds play better away than at home, so I would the data suggests that Leeds are likely to score. They scored 3 goals in the last away match against Newcastle. They didn't score anything against Liverpool, and they scored 1 goal. They consistently score, actually, but it is a difficult one to uh, predict if whether Everton are going to keep a clean sheet. Now, they played excellent against Everton played excellent in the last game against Aston Villa. That was very surprising. A lot of people benched Everton players. I even benched Tarkowski, but he is coming on because one of my defenders didn't play, so he's gonna come on, and I'm gonna get a little bit more points. So I'll come back to Everton, but I think the most obvious games. Let's have a look which ones are the most obvious or predictable, let's just say. Now, it's saying Arsenal and versus Man United. Arsenal are very highly likely to win. Let's have a look at them so far. Man United are doing very well at the moment with the new management. They have a really good form at the moment, but Arsenal are kind of got their Arsenal are in a position where they are kind of like 7 points. How many points? 7 points. Arsenal are 7 points ahead of the second place Man City, so they have a little bit of a cushion already. Okay, so if we look at this Arsenal versus Man United, Arsenal have won 82% of their games at home, whilst Man United have won 27% of their games away. Arsenal are unbeaten at home, and it doesn't look like Man United is going to beat them. Arsenal have the strongest record when it comes to defense. They have only conceded 5 goals in the entire season so far. That's absolutely crazy. We can see, however, Arsenal have only scored 3 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Man United have scored 5. So Man United are currently scoring more goals than Arsenal. Okay, let's have a look at Man United. So Arsenal's home record, if we look, they most recently, when they played at home against Liverpool, they drew 0-0. But before that, they have been scoring quite a lot of goals. So in GameWeek 19, when they played against Aston Villa, they scored 4 goals. 4-1 they won. Then they played Brighton 2-1, 2-1. So they are scoring an average of 2.4 goals per home game. So they actually score a lot of goals when they play at home. On the other hand, if we look at Man United's overall, they have won against Man City, which was a surprise. No one was expecting that. So they prepared quite well. And the games before that, when they played against Burnley, Leeds, Wolves, all the teams which are at the bottom of the Premier League, they couldn't even win against them. They actually drew. So Bruno's back, which is a good thing. But it's this game, although the data suggests that Arsenal are going to win, this is a game that it's a little bit unpredictable, because when there's a new manager in play, when there's a new manager coming into the scene, they usually have a little bit of a kind of push. They can push the team a little bit better. Okay. If we see, let's see what other teams. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Okay, this is a very interesting. This is another very good fixture. Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Now, Brentford have a very, very strong. They play very strong at home. Brentford have won 64% of their games at home. Let's see. That is amazing. They've won 7 games, they drew 3 games, and they've only lost once to Man City 1-0. The most recent game they played against Sunderland in GameWeek 21, they won 3-0. They drew against Tottenham 0-0. And Bournemouth, they scored, when they played against Bournemouth, they won 4-1. Now that is very telling, because they play against Nottingham Forest. Now, Nottingham Forest have won 27% of their games away. They are currently in the 17th position in the Premier League table. They've only scored 3 goals in the past 3 game weeks and conceded 4 goals. The away record is actually not too bad. They've won 3 games. They've lost 6 games and they drew 2 games. Most recently, they won against West Ham 2-1, but the 3 games before that they lost. So considering Brentford is a tougher team than West Ham and Wolves, Brentford are highly likely to win. So if you do have Thiago in your team, make sure you play him. He is also potentially a captain choice. So that's something that I can look into later. So we'll come back to Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. What else is there to see? Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Okay, that is actually not that much. Okay, let's have a look at Bournemouth's current record. Quite poor. All right. Okay, so this game, Bournemouth versus Liverpool, is not as predictable as we think. Bournemouth have won 45% of their games playing at home. Liverpool have won only 36% of their games playing away. Based on that, Bournemouth are actually more likely to win in this match by 9%. However, there's a massive difference in league ranking. Bournemouth are 15th and Liverpool are 4th. Bournemouth have scored 5 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Liverpool have only scored 3. And Bournemouth have conceded 5 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Liverpool have conceded 3. So, Bournemouth are scoring more and conceding more, whilst Liverpool are scoring less and conceding less. And just based on that record, it actually looks like Liverpool are going to struggle. It's not a simple game as it seems. Now, if we have a look at their record so far, so if I look at Bournemouth overall, they have lost 7 games and they have won 6 games and drew 8 games. The most recent game when they played against Tottenham, they won 3-2. Oh, well, they haven't played yet. That's why I was looking for GameWeek 22. So they are actually playing right now. So I'm not sure the score. But one thing which is very interesting, Bournemouth have conceded 12 goals in the past 6 game weeks. That's the highest, joint highest with West Ham. So because of that reason, yeah, so what I was saying, Bournemouth have conceded 12 goals in the past 6 game weeks. That's joint highest with West Ham. You can see here they conceded 4 goals against Brentford, 4 goals against Man United. If Liverpool are in a if Liverpool have a good day, they are going to score quite a few goals. That's why if you still have Senesi, you need to sell Senesi. You'll only be getting maximum 4 points. He does get defensive contribution points all the time, so yeah, 4 points. I mean, there's so many good options. So get rid of Senesi if you have any Bournemouth defenders, get rid of them. Liverpool exactly aren't great at keeping a clean sheet as well, so I don't personally have any Liverpool defenders in my team. If we look at this team now, Man City versus Wolves. This is very interesting. Man City versus Wolves. Man City are the team on the second position of the Premier League table. Wolves are right at the bottom. Now, although it looks like an easy win for Man City, the stats suggest it. For example, Man City have won 73% of their games at home. Wolves haven't even won a game away yet. However, and because of that, Man City are 73% more likely to win. But Wolves have actually been playing very well. And if you look at this, you can see that Man City have only scored 2 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Wolves have scored 4 goals in the past 3 game weeks. Man City have conceded 4 goals in the same period. Wolves have conceded only 1 goal in the past 3 game weeks. So Wolves are actually have a higher threat advantage than Man City, which is so funny, just based on the current form. Now, if we look at Man City's current performance, we can see they have been struggling to score goals. They have only scored 2 goals in the past 4 game weeks. They lost against Man United this last weekend. They drew against Brighton, Chelsea, and Sunderland. And they are unable to score. They have been struggling to score. So Wolves, a team at the bottom of the table, they seem like they are a team that they are most likely to score. Let's have a look at Wolves, shall we? Before that, I want to look at something else actually. So Man City's home record is very, very good. Man City have won 8 games, drew 2 games, and only lost once at home. And they lost the game against Tottenham in game week 2. But since then, they have been literally winning every single game apart from the last 2 home games. So last game they played at home was against Brighton in game week 21. It was a 1-1 draw. And the game before that, it was a 1-1 draw against Chelsea as well. So they are playing a team like Wolves who is currently in a very good form. Do you think that they're gonna have a really good game? I'm not really too sure. This past game week I actually didn't captain Haaland, and that was a very good thing I did. I actually captained Gabriel instead, and I got 16 points or something like that. So I got the most point out of all the groups this game week. So I don't think I would captain Haaland this game week as well. But I look into who to captain later on. Yeah, Bruno has been. I think people have been transferring him out, Alfie. So yeah, I just went for a safe option, Gabriel. I captain Gabriel. Just knew they're gonna do he's gonna have a clean sheet, so I just went for it. Okay. Um, okay. So where was I? Okay, so Man City hasn't been performing very well overall. When they play away, they lost. They lost to Man United most recently. They drew the game before. So if we just look at the overall record, the past 4 game weeks, they have been blanking. They're literally blanking. So they've only scored 2 goals. I and they're going to play Wolves, who are not a walkover anymore. I don't think it's worth captaining Haaland in game week 23. But let's have a look at Wolves' record just to be certain. Now, Wolves started this campaign very, very bad. They've lost nearly all of their game. However, in the past 4 game weeks, they actually had a opposite turnaround to Man City. Man City have been drawing or losing in the past game weeks. However, Wolves have started to score goals. They started to score goals. They won a game and they drew 3 games in the past 4 games. So these are good signs of improvements. However, they are not a team who are excellent at scoring goals. So I think of Man City versus Wolves is going to be an even game. So we'll come back to that again. Let's look at the next game. Fulham versus Brighton. Let's have a look at this one. Okay. Fulham versus Brighton. Fulham have won 55% of their games at home. Brighton have won 18% of their games away. Alfie, do you know what? I was thinking about that. I wouldn't really It's a very, very good question, Alfie. Is it viable to transfer Haaland out? That is a very good question. I was thinking about that. The only reason why I wouldn't want to transfer him out, because his value is so high that if I wanted to get him back, I would lose a lot of money, because I bought him at 14.2 or something. Let me see. I bought him at 14.2 and he's 15 point something now. So I would lose 0.8 mil straight away. That's the only reason why I don't want to get rid of him. But there are a lot of good players as well, Alfie. I should share my team with you. There's a very, very good fixtures coming up, so it's good to strategically get your team ready. I've got a good defense going on. I've been getting very good points within my defense. My midfield and attacking needs to improve. I had Watkins and Rogers, who haven't been performing that well, so I am thinking of selling Watkins and freeing up some money from there, and I'm thinking of getting Cole Palmer. It's definitely exciting. He's not established. He's not getting the regular points, but he is getting regular minutes, and with regular minutes he is going to start scoring goals. And there's a new manager as well, so I think, Chelsea is a team to look into because they have excellent fixtures in the next few game weeks. So, Chalobah, put him in. Chalobah is expected to get very, very good points in the next few game weeks. They play against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are currently performing the lowest. If we were to just look at the past 6 game weeks and look at the total points, total number of goals conceded, things like that, Crystal Palace are actually the lowest. However, when I looked into Crystal Palace earlier this morning, the Crystal Palace, let me see, where is it? Chelsea. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. When I was looking into Crystal Palace earlier this morning, they have conceded 12 goals in the past 6 game weeks, and they are likely to concede more because they've lost their top defender. Mark Gay, he's left. They I've read Oliver Glasner's comments, so there's things going on at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are falling, breaking down right now, so it's an opportunity for Chelsea to take advantage of that. I don't see Crystal Palace scoring. I can see a clean sheet from Chelsea, and potential few goals as well. So if things go the way they have been going, it's going to be a very strong win for Chelsea. Now, why I have been singing songs about invest in Chelsea is purely because they have really, really good upcoming fixtures. So if we look at this page, the fixture strength, we can see Chelsea. Where is Chelsea? Chelsea are, they've got West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. Very, very good fixtures. Crystal Palace and West Ham are the next 2 games for Chelsea. Those 2 teams have the worst conceding record in the past 6 game weeks. So basically their form is the worst out of the entire Premier League. So I would definitely maybe even triple up in Chelsea. I definitely have Palmer. Chalobah. I need to buy him. I'm going to buy him later on. I'm going to get him back. But Palmer is someone I'm thinking, should I do a -4 and get him? I haven't decided yet. It would be based on, if I was to get Palmer, I have to get rid of Saka. Saka hasn't been performing well. So it's a matter of, okay, how likely, I'm going to have to analyze how likely is it for Palmer to score versus how likely is it for Saka not to score. And based on that, I'm going to decide whether I should go for a -4 or not. But it looks promising. So I would, both players, doesn't look like they're going to, Palmer doesn't look like his price is going to go up. So I do have a little bit of time. Saka have already had a -1. So I don't see his price going down even more. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time. So I'll decide more closer to time. But I will do another analysis about captaincy, because I would advise no one to captain Haaland, definitely. But there are very, very good options, so we can think about it. What is this game? This is my first time on TikTok Live. What is this game? Rematch. I lost the game. I'm not a person who likes losing. What's this? Start match. What am I supposed to do? Victory lap. How do you play this? Hello, how do you play this? Can you tell me how to play this? 4.54 minutes, 50 seconds. What am I supposed to do? Guys, tell me, what am I supposed to do? uh, what am I supposed to do? I'm good, man. How are you? Where are you from? Pakistan. Pakistan Zindabad, yeah? What part from Pakistan? No, I'm not Pakistani, mate. I'm not from Pakistan. My background is yeah, my background is Bengali, Bangladeshi. That's good, man. Do you play FPL? Hmm? Do you play FPL? What's your name? Islam? Muhammad Islam, yes. Do you play FPL, Muhammad? No. Yes? That's good. That's good. Alright, man. Alright, let's continue. Let's look at good possible players. Let's have a look at possible captaincy choices. Okay. So, based last game week, there wasn't many. Let me select the best performing team last game week was Manchester United. If we look at Manchester United, Dorgu got 15 points. That's really good. Dorgu is a very good option to buy, actually. And his price has gone up recently. I can see his price has gone up by 0.1. He is the third highest most transfer player this game week. He's had 116,000 transfer ins recently. Why is he a good player to invest in? I'll tell you why. The reason why he's good is he's very, very cheap. His price has gone up a little bit, but he's still very cheap, 4.3 million. And why he is worth buying is because he is playing every single minute, 90 minutes. Just look at this. He has been playing every minute since game week 17. Now, he has scored a goal in game week 22 and game week 18, and he got double figures there. Now, I'm sure everyone has a defender who is blanking every single week, and you might even leave him on your bench. Now, you would rather, if you have the ability, just transfer him in, Dorgu. Leave him in the bench if you wanted to, but you'll save that money, and that money can go towards something else. At the same time, when Man United have very good fixtures, you can play him, and if they do well, then he'll get good points as well. So he is a very, very good investment. And I do have him in my team. I've recently got him. Now, if we look at him, they play Arsenal in game week 23, right? Now, obviously, Arsenal are a very, very strong team. The strongest team in the Premier League at the moment. How is he going to perform? Let's see. Now, if we look at Dorgu's performance, every time he played a team with a fixture level 4, which is a tough team, he's actually got a good point record, but he doesn't really have much of a history, so there's no point talking about him too much. Let's look at a different player. Bruno Fernandes. He is the number one target this game week. You can see here he's been transferred in by 273,000 people already. His price has gone up. He's the most transferred in person in this game week. Easy, worth getting him. If you can, definitely yes. But for me personally, I do want him, but I can't. For me, I need to consider the right time to get him. Obviously, the earlier you can get, the better, but I am always balancing to see who is a better alternative, specifically for the immediate game week number 23. Like, I wouldn't want to get him, and when I could have got someone else who's guaranteed points. He is playing Arsenal. He actually performs well when he plays a tough team. If we look at his performance, you can see that each time he played a team with a fixture difficulty level 4, he's got an average of 5.5 points. You can see he got 10 points against Man City in Game Week 22 recently. Game Week 8, he got 8 points against Liverpool. And the other 2 games that he played against a similar fixture level, he blanked. Now, last time he played against Arsenal, he got 2 points. That was in Game Week 1. So, based on that, I don't see Bruno doing based on the fact that Arsenal's defense is solid, I don't think Bruno is a person to get as a matter of urgency. I think he's going to blank in Game Week 23, and because of that, I wouldn't want to get him immediately. But then they do in Game Week 24. They do have Fulham, and they play Fulham at home. And Fulham's away record is actually quite poor. They've lost 6 games, won only 3 games. So that is an opportunity for Man United to do well. We can also see that Fulham, they have been scoring decent goals. So, okay, how about Tottenham? So in Game Week 25, they played Tottenham at home as well. Tottenham played better away than at home. And then they have West Ham in Game Week 26. So Man United have, apart from Arsenal, Man United have good fixtures coming up as well. So it is good to invest in Bruno if you can. But based on the fact that he is unlikely to score, or I'm not sure actually. We'll see how that pans out. Captaincy. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. What other things that we can analyze? West Ham versus Sunderland. Okay, this is a very interesting game actually. Let's see what we can make of this. West Ham and Sunderland. Okay, West Ham. West Ham versus Sunderland. West Ham have won only 18% of their games playing at home. Sunderland have won only 18% of the games when they played away. So, based on those two stats, they're a pretty even team. However, if we look at the league rankings and the total points they have, there's quite a big difference. Sunderland are 9 places higher than West Ham in the Premier League rankings. If we look at the most recent form, the most recent form is actually very similar. Both teams have scored 3 goals in the past 3 game weeks. And in terms of conceding, West Ham have conceded 1 more goal than Sunderland. So West Ham has got 6 and Sunderland have conceded 5. So both teams don't necessarily have really favorable stats so far. However, if we look at each team individually, we'll start off with West Ham. West Ham overall, the most recent game they played against Tottenham, they won 2-1. And I watched the highlights for that. They actually did surprisingly well. They won 2-1. And they played away as well, which is interesting. However, overall, they've lost 13 games. They've only won 4 games and drew 5 games. So they are a team that is struggling. They are conceding an average of 2 goals per game. If we look at their home record, they concede more goals at home than away. So their average goals conceded is 2.3 goals. The last game they won was in GameWeek 11 when they played Burnley at home. And they have been conceding a lot of goals in those past few game weeks. So their home record is actually worse than their away record when it comes to conceding. Now, if we look at Sunderland's overall, they recently won against Crystal Palace 2-1. They lost against Brentford, but Sunderland concede an average of 1 goal per game, which is not too bad, but they are scoring an average of 1 goal per game as well. Now, if we look at the away record is actually really bad when it comes to scoring. They are struggling to score goals. Their average goal scoring is, when they play away, they are only scoring an average of 0.5, which is 1 goal in every 2 games, which is really poor. But at the same time, they concede 1.3 goals in average per game. Now, the last time they won a game was in GameWeek 9. The last time they won a game away was in GameWeek 9 when they played against Chelsea. They won 2-1. Since then, they haven't won anything. They lost 3 times and they drew 3 times in that period. So they do not have a solid or very strong record when they play away. However, they are playing against West Ham. Now, West Ham have conceded 12 goals in the past 6 game weeks, the most highest in that period. And they concede more goals at home. So I would actually predict a win from Sunderland. And it's difficult to predict if West Ham's going to score or not. or Sunderland will struggle to score as well. So this game, West Ham versus Sunderland, is potentially a 0-0 draw, unless one of the teams become brave and go attacking. Then you'll see the difference there. But this game is difficult to predict. Okay, I think this is enough for today. I will be posting some more videos. Make sure you like and follow and comment. If you do comment, I can look into your comments as well and do a video on it. So do make sure you comment on my videos. And it is very difficult to predict games, but with the data analytics we have, we could find the obvious games that is obvious and predictable games, and that's the point of this, to be honest. And it does work. Honestly, it does work. Last game week was a pure example where I predicted Haaland is going to blank, so I just captained a safe option, and I was the top of the. I got the most points in all the groups. So, um, it is sometimes difficult to predict, but we can filter out all the obvious games. So do keep following. This is the start for me, and was my first live as well, and hopefully we will continue going and growing, and will provide you some excellent data analytics, excellent direction of who's going to win, what potential score, how to manage your bench, who to captain. All those small things are going to help you climb up the ladder. So thank you for watching, and see you soon.